What happens with tie votes in California elections? On rare occasions, there can actually be a tie vote in a California election. And so we have to look to the applicable California statutes to provide guidance in these rare occasions. In Elections Code Division 15, Chapter 10, rules are found in sections 15650 to 15673. And Article 1 deals with elections other than primary elections. And Section 15651 of the California Elections Code specifies that if in an election 2 or more persons receive an equal vote and the highest vote for that office, then the Secretary of State is required to summon the 2 candidates who have received the tie votes to appear before the Secretary at the Secretary of State's office at a time to be designated by the Secretary of State. And at that time, the Secretary of State must determine the tie by lot. So Section 15652 specifies that if the tie vote has been determined by lot, the person declared elected by the Secretary of State or the election board is entitled to receive the certificate of election. And the Secretary of State, the county elections official, or the city elections official is required to immediately complete and deliver to that official his or her certificate of election. In Elections Code Section 15653, it requires that when 2 or more persons have an equal and highest number of votes for either the governor or lieutenant governor position, then the Secretary of State is required to deliver certificate to that effect to each of the tied candidates. And then each tied candidate may present the certificate to the legislature in a manner that he or she seems fit. Section 15654 then requires, in case of any 2 or more persons having an equal and highest number of votes for either the governor or lieutenant governor elected position, the legislature is required by a joint vote of the 2 houses to choose one of those persons to fill that office of governor or lieutenant governor between the 2 individuals who are tied for the office. Article 2 then deals with primary elections, and Section 15670 specifies that Article 2 applies only to candidates for delegates to a national convention when you're nominating the party's candidates for president and vice president, as well as candidates for nomination at the direct primary to offices other than nonpartisan offices or voter-nominated officers of the state. And Section 15671 requires that in the case of a tie vote for a member of a county central committee, where that office is to be voted for wholly within a single county, the election board is required to summon the candidates who have received the tie votes to appear before it at a time and place they determine. And then the board at that time determines the tie by lot. In Section 15672, it requires in the case of a tie vote for an office other than a judicial or school office to be voted on in more than one county, then the Secretary of State summons the candidates who receive the tie votes to appear before the Secretary of State at a designated time and then determine the tie by lot. Section 15673, the last one here in the Elections Code, provides that the summons mentioned in this article has to, in every case, be mailed to the address of the candidate as his or her address appears on the affidavit of registration, and be sent at least 5 days before the date fixed for the determination by the Secretary of State for the final tie vote.